I went to the Pursuit of Truth 22nd of October 2018. So, I'm not sure really. I suppose it has an aspect of truth to it, but maybe not the things you normally listen to from me. Just a bit more on the housing thing. It is a lie and deception by the government in the sense that they pretend that they're helping low-income people to get on the housing ladder. So we went to this specialist, countrywide, very, very great, good guy. Oh, sounded like Donald Trump then when I said that. Hey, great guy. And he explained like the three ladders of buying a house. Like the best one is buying it outright yourself with a mortgage. Second is help to buy, and third is shared ownership. I thought help to buy and shared ownership were the same thing, because I've seen websites where it's got help to buy ... shared ownership. So I assumed they were all one thing, and that was why I was getting confused, because shared ownership, he advised against that. That's where you buy the house and you pay mortgage and rent. Of course, if you're low income, imagine paying mortgage and rent, because I worked out we'd be paying over 1,000, so it's not really much different than renting. We're still, and I'm sure we're only paying back interest from the government, and it's a leasehold as well. Shared ownership is always leasehold, it's never freehold. So at the end of the day, you spend all that money, yeah, and then the house isn't even yours. But if anyone asks you, on government forms, do you own a house? You have to say yes, but you don't actually own a house because it's a leasehold. It goes back to whoever. I mean, how did they work that one out? That's a great system, isn't it? That you get to own a house for 100 years, and it just who actually really owns this house then? Is it the government? Is it the Rothschilds? Is it somebody, and then it's just going through their family? Well, it's an easy money earner, isn't it? Because you give away your house for 100 years and then you get it back. And then you sell it again, and then you sell it again, and you sell it again. And you make money over and over again on the same piece of material. Great. Anyway, but the problem with that one is, anyway. So the second one is help to buy, and the problem with that, for the first 5 years you just pay mortgage, and then after that you pay interest only to the government, which is 1% of whatever they've loaned you. Now, that 1%, I worked out, I think if they loaned you 100,000, then 1% of that is 1,000, it's like 400 or something. I don't know if that you have to pay that a month or that's a whole year. And of course, the thing is, if you're only paying interest, then also you're not actually purchasing the house back. And I think with that one, you have a limited amount of time, if I'm right. But the problem with that one, the big problem with that one, is only new houses. It is freehold, but it's new houses. Now, the problem with new houses is that means you're buying from developers. According to them, they say the house can be no more than 600,000. Obviously, the developers are going to think, well, the government's selling this, so we better make sure all our houses are 600,000. They're not going to make £250,000 houses or £350 houses, are they? And I went on the website to find in my area any. There's two, and they're not even in my area. So that's the problem with that one, finding the property. And the other thing is, these days, when they say houses, they've redefined what houses are. Houses can be flats or they can be apartments. Obviously, if you're a builder and you think you've got one plot of land, oh, that's a £600,000 house. Or wait a minute, if I build it up and build loads of them and I call them apartment houses, then I can build loads of these things and sell them for the same price. So therefore, you live in a flat apartment, which isn't a house, it isn't a home. Don't start calling these things houses. They're not houses. It's like the boats. There's many boats on there for £200,000. I get a boat. I'm going to live on a boat. That's a house. According to Rightmove and Zoopla, that's a house. Have you ever had that feeling where you think you could do something and then you realise you can't do it and it just kills you? I've had that feeling so many times, but with this housing thing, it always... You think you get a glimmer of hope, and then you realise, no, you still can't do it. Yeah, so that's the system as it is. So obviously the system is open to people who earn under 90,000. So for some people, they may be able to, if they're up to like 89, they probably can purchase these properties and then make loads of money by renting them out to people like me, who are effectively paying someone else's mortgage. And the other thing is, if you try and move out to like different areas, because that's another way to get cheaper properties we're looking at, like Kent, Luton, the thing is, the train fare to commute is like £4,000 a year. £4,000 a year to commute. That's like £400 a month on a train, on a shitty old English train. You're paying £400 a month. How do people do this? People are doing this all the time, spending that kind of money on late trains and packed trains to work for companies that they don't even care and love about, but they're paying all these people to do all this. How we're programmed is brilliant, isn't it? If you think about it, if you look at it, who would want to live a life like this? And yet we all do. That's why I thought this aspect, it sort of does, because the government will say, yeah, we're doing things for low-income owners and people who don't have money and helping with the housing problem. No, you can see, I'm telling you the truth. You can go speak to a specialist or a broker and they'll explain to you these systems. If you've got a good job and there's two of you, then you're okay, depending on the area you live in. But if you're low income, then nah, you're stuck, even though the government pretends that they're helping you. And if I can work out the problem with these, with builders building expensive houses, you look on there, I find houses 600 in the shared ownership. There's 600, 800,000, £1 million house on shared ownership. Who can afford that? Why aren't you building prices for low-income workers, i.e. houses that are £200,000 to £300,000? Surely that makes sense, because then we'd be able to afford it. No, let them build £1 million house. If I can work this out, how is it that people in the government can't work this out? People who have been to grammar school, people who have been to Eton and Oxford and Cambridge. How is it they can't work out? Of course they bloody know. They know exactly what's going on, and probably their family are buying these houses. Because if I can work it out, surely they can work it out. So why aren't they doing anything about it? Why are they saying to these builders, no, you must, for the low-income earners, this is the price that you must build. And you must build a nice house, not some shitty old house. I'm looking at these houses and I'm thinking, such shame. Looking at the state of the houses that are on there. It's fucking disgusting. And anyway, the last thing, I was walking to work, and Michael Palin, he says that there's propaganda. I saw one of the council propaganda posters as I was way to work, and it said modern slavery is closer than you think. I'll video it for you properly and put it on YouTube. But the thing is on John Doyle Poems, and I was laughing to myself. Yeah, of course it's closer than you think. It's all around us. It's called business. Business is modern slavery. People say, oh no, you're getting paid to do this. You don't have to do it. Wait a minute. Those people, back in the slave era in America, where they used to get paid to go and work for their masters. Yeah, and they give them a cabin, they give them lodgings. They thought, oh yeah, it's brilliant, we've got a place to live, and we're getting a little bit of money for being a maid or doing some field work. Yeah, that's not slavery, is it? No, you're getting paid. No, it was still slavery. And so is this. It's just a sophist way to make it look like business and economics and commerce. Well, it's not. Do we all want to do what we're doing? Do you really want to do this, or are you doing it because you need to, because you have to? It's the only way you can survive, because it's the way the system is. Take care, thank you, God bless and peace.